Well, hello. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. Hi. How you doing? I am coming to you from my new apartment, which isn't so new anymore, as the title says. I've been here about 30 days. So, um, it's not a new thing, but there's a lot of things that have been going on, most of which I haven't talked about. Trying to get settled here. Some of you may be surprised by this. I've been letting my hair grow out, and part of the reason was I didn't have a set of clippers that I could use to keep my hair short. And I just decided that, it's still kind of thin in places. And I'm not going to argue with that. But there are a lot of 63-year-old women, of which I am one, who have thin or thinning hair. So I'm going to let it grow out. I'm probably going to let it grow all the way out until like the end of the year and see what it looks like. This has actually been going on since about I stopped wearing a wig about 2 months ago. So it's been like this for about 2 months now, and I'll let it go until the end of the year and see what it looks like, and I'll make a decision then as to what I'm going to do. Most of my friends are like, let it grow out, let it get nice and long, and then go get it styled, and that's one of the things that I want to do. So much has so much has happened. That's one of them. Uh, My writing has been all over the place. Still working on my sea level novel. I am in the third act now, so I finished all that stuff that was meant to uh, really make it hard for my kids. There's a reason Act Two is called Season of Hell, and it's basically because the kids go through hell, physically, emotionally, mentally. And in fact, one of those right now, I'm working up a scene between Deanna and Annie, where Annie has just told Deanna, no, I'm not going to do something. And Deanna is working up the appropriate response. It's going to be tough to write this because it's really going to be an affirmation that Annie is beginning to suffer from PTSD. And if you ever had the chance to read, well, if you ever have the chance to read my second act, you'll know why. Annie has went through a ton of shit. So is Carrie, for that matter, and Carrie is actually in counseling, and Annie is going into counseling as well. They have to. I published I guess you could call it a microfiction, a micro story. It's flash fiction, 300 words or less, in a book put out by Queer Science Fiction called Innovation, and published that. It's, officially published, and I won honorable mention, and I won a Judge's Choice Award. Now, there were no monetary prizes attached to those strings, but it was nice to actually get that kind of recognition. And Yeah, Judge's Choice. It was really cool. I published the second part of my first novel. That was, oh, I think I might have mentioned that already. It's been about a month and a half now, and I really need to get on to publishing the third part and seeing where that goes. And the writing group I'm in, I'm actually in two different writing groups now. I'm in Right Now Lancaster, and I'm in what we call the Panera Writing Group. And the Panera Writing Group comes together during NaNoWriMo. And that's how I got embedded with them, was I met them during NaNoWriMo last year. There's been a lot of that going on. I've been kind of sleepy. But NaNoWriMo, uh, I've written one collaboration with one writing partner. I'm working on another collaboration with a second partner who is gone for the weekend. So I get to take a break from that. And we have decided that we're writing our story like a television script. So there's a lot of television, movie jargon going on, shooting jargon. It's really kind of cool. In fact, we've had two people say, "Hey, can we piggyback on your meetings and see what you guys are talking about? Because this really sounds interesting." In fact, we have one person who's editing it, and she says she's already learning some new things due to the fact that editing a script is a little different than editing a regular story. So she's enjoying that. So I'm trying to stay busy with writing. Most of the writing I'm actually doing at night. I do very little writing during the day. Oh, sorry. I've been very sleepy. Um, yeah, of late, I've been taking a lot of naps. I don't know why. I think a lot of it has to do with I'm a bit bored, with not having a lot to do. Uh, but I get to write. I have a place, and it's not too bad. I'm now living in Columbia, Pennsylvania. I'm about 20 minutes west of Lancaster, and probably I think about 30 minutes south of Harrisburg, maybe 35. It really depends on traffic. I'm on the Susquehanna again, so I get to see the river. I've went on a couple of adventures already. During this week, I walked across the river, not literally. I'm not that good. There's a bridge that goes across the river here that's about a mile and a quarter long. And I walked across it to go to a bike shop. And I discovered that there is a bike shortage. Yeah, seriously, there's a big bike shortage due to the fact that a lot of people are buying bikes, but they're not manufacturing enough to keep up with the demand. I was actually looking at the possibility of buying a bicycle, which I may or may not do. About the only way I could do it is if I got financing. That's another story. Uh, or layaway. And most places won't let you lay away forever. So, Uh, but there's a lot going on. And one of the reasons why I was looking at a bicycle is last Friday at this time. At this time, I was on a bike slash hiking trail called what is it? The Northwest River. Let me double check here. Northwest River Trail. It used to follow a canal, and then when the canal was filled in, it followed a railroad line. Um, I went biking. I rented a bike. I rented what they call a Citizen One step through, which is a fancy name of saying it's a girl's bike. Yeah, when they say step through, you look at the publication and it says made for women. And basically, that's what it is. You step through it. The frame comes down like that, so you can just step over the frame and you don't have to go swinging your leg up. I'm at that age where I need that step through. I'm not so big on swinging my leg up through the frame anymore, up and over the frame. That's my connection. There, I'm back. My connection was unstable. Yeah, I rode over 14 miles, and I've got a map of the trail. Let me see if I can pull. Let me see if I can show you. Down here is the trail, and I started here down in Columbia, worked my way up through Marietta, and went to about, I think about there. Riverfront Park, Riverfront Park, right here. And then from there, I bicycled back. It was a trip. It was a nice day. It got hot toward the end, but by that time I was like 3 miles out. I foolishly left without water. Yeah. I decided, oh, I'm not going to go out that far. Right. So one guy gave me a bottle of water, and then I got a bottle of Pepsi when I was at Riverside Park, because the Pepsi machine was the only one that had anything in it. The machine with the Gatorade was completely sold out. I was trying to get some Gatorade to get some electrolytes back in me. And family said to me when I was at Riverside Park, I said, I'm half considering just going up to somebody and paying. Because at that point, like I said, I was 7 miles out, and I didn't. Like I said, I was 7 miles out, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it back or not. So it was a little daunting, and this guy who was with his family, his wife and his son, he said, "Yeah, but if you bicycle back, think how good you're going to feel when you get there." And I did. I felt really good. It was tough walking home, and it was tough walking up the stairs because I have a lot of stairs to walk up to get to my apartment. But yeah, it felt good. It felt like I accomplished something. And one of the things that I was thinking was, wow, I haven't done anything in terms of exercise for 6 months. And here I am getting on a bike and bicycling, a little over 14 and a quarter miles. It was ridiculous, when I think about it. And one person told me, you tend to push yourself. That's why you were able to do that. That's why you were able to go out, 7 miles and come back, because you tend to push yourself. And it is true. When I get into the right situation, I push myself. It was like when I walked across the river the other day to go to the bike shop. And walking back, I was just, I was a mess. Let's just say I was tired. I didn't realize it at the time, but my total walk measured 4 miles exactly. That's a lot of walking. It is. It really is. 4 miles is a lot of walking, especially when you're breaking in a new pair of shoes. And that's what I was doing that day. And oh, my feet were killing me. But when I got home, I was like, wow, that was really something. I managed to do that. Now, whether I would manage to do it again, I don't know. Um, I'm learning to walk a lot more than I used to. I haven't walked like this since going all the way back to January, February. I'm still without a car. My car is still parked where I left it in February, and starting to gather parking tickets, which I have been paying. But yeah, I'm without a car. I do have a bus pass, so I can get around by bus. But the reality is, there's only so much you can do by bus. Now, we're still here in Lancaster County, and that's where I am. I'm still in Lancaster County. Uh, we're still singing the COVID blues here, even though we're in what they call a modified green situation, which is to say stores are mostly open, but they can only operate at 25% capacity. Because when they opened them up originally, they were operating at 50% capacity, and the cases begin to zoom upwards. And now they're operating at 25% capacity, and the cases are coming down, but they're coming down real slow. And in fact, some of the counties around us, their cases are actually going up again. A lot of that really has to do with, you go into a restaurant, nobody's wearing a mask. I'm just as guilty. I'll go across the street and eat at a counter, and I'll have breakfast there. And even though there's social distancing, no one's allowed to be within 6 feet of anyone else, you're still sitting there without a mask. So you're taking the risk of catching COVID from somebody who is asymptomatic. I've been real lucky. I mean, seriously. I spent all my time going back and forth between places. And I didn't catch anything. And this was encountering people out in the public who weren't wearing masks, and we still have a lot of those. We have a lot of people who are walking around who don't have masks on. Now, I will say this: if I am out by myself and there is no one around me, I take off my mask. If I happen to be somewhere where there are people, if I'm like, say, walking down the sidewalk and I see people coming and they don't have their mask on, I will put my mask on well before I get within 6 feet of them. I think a lot of it is just so many people don't care. And I'm busting my butt trying to make it easier for other people, so they don't catch anything I might have. People don't care. So, but like I said, I try to take precautions if I'm by myself. And usually, if I'm walking down the streets here are rather empty, even during the day. There's not a lot of people walking down the street. When I was in Lancaster, I would put my mask on and leave it on the entire time I was out walking around. Here, you can walk 5 or 6 blocks and not run into another person. So, a few times, I've just went out and I won't have my mask on. I won't put it on until I'm getting ready to go into a building, which you still have to have your mask on when you go into a building. I don't think that's going to change before the end of the year. And some people are saying they're not going to relax the 25% rule before the end of the year because the cases just are not going down slow enough. We thought we were close to having it beat. And in Lancaster County, we were. And then when we went to modified green, it zoomed right back up. So, gee, what does that mean for Derby? We've already canceled all of our games for 2020. My league decided that, one, it's going to be too difficult using the WUFTA guidelines for getting back to the point where you could actually play before the end of the year. And two, and I'm just guessing on this one, so many of the other leagues in the area had already canceled all their games. They just said, okay, we're done. I think there was like only 1 or 2 leagues in the area who managed to get a game in the weekend before they shut everything down. I know my old league, Hard, they did. They got 1 game in, and then they had to shut down. We shut down the next week. So, they were one of the few teams in the area that actually played. It's really debatable when we're going to go back to practice. I mean, the conditions right now, based on the WUFTA guidelines, are such that we're just not able to practice. We can't. And some people are still, they're going out and they're skating. I went out and I biked. I could skate that trail, but only for about 2 miles, and then I got to turn around and come back. It's not like when you're skating. Well, I don't know. When I skated the Greenbelt, I used to skate about 3 miles, and then I'd turn around and come back. So I'd skate 6 miles total. And on this trail, you can skate about 2.25 miles, and then you have to come back. And it's relatively flat, so it's not like, I have to deal with a lot of craziness. But about the only place you can skate around here. The one place you can skate around here is you can actually skate right out on the street. Like on Sunday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, there's nobody out. Nobody's driving around. And you can probably go out and skate for about an hour and not worry about getting run over by a car. Which may or may not be something I do some morning. I was kind of bummed. I wanted to, I was thinking when I get my skates, I wanted to go down to the park where I like to hang out, the Cumberland Park that they use for the riverfront, but they have a sign up, no skating in the parking lot. And it's like, well, that's no fair. And the park closes at dusk, so it's not like you can go there when it's starting to get dark and skate around for a while. It's like, bummer. Yeah, it's not like having Overlook Park where you have actually a few miles of track that you can skate on. And, skating 5, 6, 7 miles is not that big of a deal. But, yeah, that happens when I get a car. And that begs the question, am I going to be able to make practice if they did open up? If they opened up practice next month, the answer right now would be no, I couldn't go to practice. In fact, I'd probably have to send a notice to the BOD and tell them, I can't make practice. I can't make any of the requirements for being in the league. So I'd have to drop out for the present and maybe in the near future. I actually went on leave of absence before they closed everything down because I was struggling to go to practice. I was struggling with my duties as being in charge of social media. And I said, I got to go on leave of absence. I said, I can't meet the requirements for getting to practice. I have no guarantee that I can make it to practice. So I'm guessing I would have to say I have to drop out. I can't continue going if I can't make it to practice. And I really don't know how I feel about that yet. Having the whole summer off, which we have, I've been reevaluating a lot of stuff in terms of my participation with Derby. And I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. At this point, I couldn't tell you exactly what I would do if we went back to practice within the next month. Even if I had a way of getting to practice, I don't know what I would do. So I'm just saying that. I love the sport. I really do. But I'm also 63 years old. And it seems like I have to fight twice as hard to keep up with people who are half my age. And yeah, it's getting to be a case of the mind. The spirit is willing, but the body says, "Fuck you." But yet, I went out and I walked 4 miles, and I went out and I bicycled 14.35 miles. So if someone says you push yourself, you tend to push yourself a lot. And every time I think about, oh, I can't keep doing Derby, it's just wearing me out. I think about the fact that after 6 months of inactivity, I basically bicycled the length of the trail. The trail itself is a little over 14 miles long. I basically bicycled from one end of the trail to the other. And people I've told that to have said, that's pretty good for someone who hasn't been out doing anything for 6 months. 14 miles, that's pretty reasonable. So I still have the ability. It's just my left knee keeps reminding me. Like right now, I'm trying to extend it and it's going crunch, snap, crackle, pop. I can actually feel it like crunching. Yeah, I got something in my left knee. It's not as strong as it should be. And decisions. But the biggest decision I would have is I have no way of getting to practice. So I don't know what I would do. But who knows? At the rate COVID's going, we may not have practice for the rest of the year. That's actually distinctly possible. I doubt if it's going to happen. We probably will have. I would imagine the cases will drop to a manageable point sometime either next month or in October, and then practice can start up again. But as it is now, there's no possibility of practice for the foreseeable future. And it's not just us, it's every league, every league in the area, every league in Pennsylvania, probably every league in the country, because Derby is totally shut down. WFDA shut it all down months ago when it was when COVID was starting to take off. They shut everything down. They said no more league play. So, they canceled the tournaments, they canceled the Continental Cups. They just said nothing is going to happen this year. We can't risk it. And this was going to be a big year for them. This was their 15th anniversary. WFDA's 15th anniversary, and the tagline they were promoting last year was going to be 15 and 20. Not to be confused with 27 and 5, which everyone still hates, even though you don't have to do it. Everyone hates it. Except for those people who can skate like 29 and 30 laps, they don't hate it. But those of us that struggle, to do a 27-5. And I admit I'm one of those people that's usually just crossing the finish line, just crossing the 27th lap off their sheet, just as someone is calling time. It's not something that's loved. But after my little bicycle trip, I even said to myself, I'll bet I could do a 27-5 right now. Thing is, I don't want to find out. I probably could. I probably couldn't. I didn't mention that coming back, I had to take a lot of rest. Yeah, coming back, I rested. I think it was 4 times coming back, whereas I rested 2 times going out to the Riverfront Park. Coming back, I rested 4 times. Usually for like about 10 minutes, but that was it. Still, I did it. So I thought I would just check in, leave a message, tell everybody what I've been up to. Mainly because someone said, Cassidy, it's been a month since you've given us any news. What's happening? We know who that person is. She's one of my biggest followers. I like to call her Royoko, the space pirate demon. Royoko. Royoki. I like Royoki. Okay, well, I'm going to get going. Like I said, I just wanted to leave this out here. Let everybody, give everybody some news, tell them what's going on, and see you around. Take care. Bye.